Hey, welcome everyone to the Donovan Live Postgame Show, the pre-July 4th edition here on WKYC's Facebook Live. I'm Dave DiNatale alongside Jim Donovan. Now, you as a Boston native, as a New England native, I realize, of course, the Declaration of Independence was signed in Philadelphia, but was there, compared to being in Northeast Ohio, was there more emphasis maybe on the 4th of July, just in Boston, the cradle of the Revolution and everything up there?
Yeah, there was. But there was also, it was the Boston Pops.
Right.
Played at a place called, right on the ocean, called the Esplanade. Mm-hmm. And so that was a pilgrimage to go there. And it was when Arthur Fiedler was the conductor of the Boston Pops. And he had this magnificent concert. And then, great fireworks display, very, very patriotic. Mm-hmm. And that was the place to go. Typically, the Red Sox would be, usually, I would say out of town because downtown Boston and would go to the Boston Pops. And if you were going to attend, you really had to go there. For instance, we're speaking on the 3rd of July.
Yeah.
And you'd have to be there right now to get a spot to be there for the 4th of July.
You had to camp out.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like camping out for, tickets to a Duke basketball game or something, or tickets to a rock
concert. I remember one time, and it was, unfortunately, it's a long time ago, but I remember when the old stadium was up and the Browns would make the playoffs, and they would put the tickets on sale, and people would line up to buy the tickets, and typically a lot of people would camp out.
Yeah.
And I can remember also when Jacobs Field came into existence, and the Indians were in that sellout streak, and I can remember when they would put the tickets on sale, and it used to be on the Friday after Thanksgiving, at the very earliest, and people would line up there. Well, in Boston, that's what they would do, go to that concert.
To go to the Boston Pops. Now, is that the same venue that you saw John Williams conduct the Boston Pops?
Yeah, he carried on the tradition.
Yeah.
And, it's continued through the years. And it's huge. I mean, the crowd is huge. Yeah. But when Arthur Fiedler did it, it was really, he was so, he was really something. It was really great. And it used to then, and then suddenly now, the nation took, they took notice of it, and people, it started to get televised on national TV. Yeah. I think it was Bravo used to do it, or, a cable network used to do it, and then it went to CBS, but then they only would take a portion of it. But the big thing was you would go and see the whole
But that's one of those things, you need to be there. I mean, right? I mean, television can only do so much. Right. It's like you need to be there. Yeah. You need to take part in it.
So I think that was really the big thing. That's the big show back there, and it was symbolized by the Boston Pops.
Yeah, that's how you celebrate 4th of July. Hopefully, wherever you're going to be at tomorrow, be safe, but enjoy it. Donovan family, enjoy fireworks,
Yes, although I will tell you this. Yes, we do. But we come at it from a different angle right now. Yeah. I mean, we have horses.
Yes, you do.
And we have a lot of animals.
You have animals.
Yeah. And the fireworks affect them in different ways. So we have had, really, just stampedes.
Yes.
So we have to stay kind of close to home so that we still have horses, at least on our property. When the fireworks go off.
Yes, the pops and the explosion. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know for dogs and cats, it's bad enough. I can't even imagine for horses.
Yeah, we have to give one of our dogs a little sedative because he really cowers during the fireworks. Now, I know they have this new thing, or maybe it's not new, but I know they have this kind of jacket for dogs. It's kind of a thunder jacket
that
you can put around, and sometimes it helps with fireworks. But we go the old-fashioned way. We give them a sedative.
Absolutely. Yeah, a chill pill.
Yeah, chill pill.
That's how it works.
They do. Hooper gets a chill pill.
Hooper gets a chill.
And we're out there with the horses.
Well,
to make sure that
they
stay.
Because you want them to stay on the property.
Absolutely. I don't need them running down Ridge Road.
No, please, no. Okay, a couple of things in addition to 4th of July. I just always wanted to know. I'm a big history guy, and I enjoy anything with Independence Day, and also this is also the same week of the anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg in the Civil War, which is the greatest and unfortunately also the bloodiest battle in American history. Those 3 days in Gettysburg. So this is always a historical American history huge week. Yeah. So I was just curious to see what it was like in Boston versus maybe I've talked to people in Philadelphia and they'd say it's a huge week for them. In Washington D.C. they do stuff on the at the Capitol and the mall. And of course here in Cleveland, I'll be out on the terrace tomorrow night watching the fireworks over at Voinovich Park, and see them coming from Lakewood and so on. It's a great holiday. It's a great chance to just kind of cook some barbecue, enjoy family, and enjoy America.
I was downtown one year when the Cleveland Orchestra was playing down in Public Square.
Yeah.
Okay. And perhaps you'll remember this. And it was a packed house. I want to say there were probably 70,000 down there.
Yeah.
Okay, in Public Square. And the Indians were playing in Minnesota. And the concert was going on, and they would dip down the music every time Eddie Murray got up.
Oh!
Because he got his 3,000th
Going for that 3,000th hit. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they would pipe in Tom Hamilton and Herb Score doing the game because he was the approach.
You wanted to know.
Well, it was like, I can remember when I came and I was working at Channel 3 and I was doing the weeknight show one week, and it was when Pete Rose was getting close.
Yeah. To Passing Cobb,
Passing Cobb, but also, that's right, 4,292, right? And NBC would cut in every time it happened, and they cut in when Henry Aaron, broke Babe Ruth's record.
I put out a question on here on Facebook for people because as we speak, we touched on this a little bit last night at the end of our conversation, but over at the Sherwin-Williams building across from Quicken Loans Arena, they did it in a day. The banner's gone. The LeBron James banner is completely taken down. They had said it was going to take a couple of days, but and there was a pretty vicious rainstorm today, but it's gone. So just kind of put out there, if Sherwin-Williams, in concert with whether it would be with Nike again or whoever else, wanted to put another sports-themed banner up there, well, who should it be? And you've jumped in. Bruce says put a Francisco Lindor banner up. Chris says the banner should be of the Tribe's 2018 World Series celebration. How likely are we to pursue Manny Machado? We'll get to that in a second. And there was a lot of the Lindor stuff, and it was funny. You and I talked about it last night. Then what does Frankie do? 2 home runs, a grand slam, and a 3-run shot. 7 runs batted in last night in Kansas City.
And after the game, an interview with Andre Nod and said, have they started on the mural yet?
Yeah.
He did not.
He did not.
You know what? I don't know what. First of all, I thought that was a landmark.
Yeah.
I understand, you taking it down. That's sad.
It is sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
There are people who have I've seen, especially nationally, saying, what was the rush? Why did they have to do it right now?
What was the rush? I don't understand.
I don't really know. Part of me sits there and like, well, he's not here anymore. But part of it's like, there's no rush.
Should it have to be down by the first of the month?
Right,
exactly. Or you lose your safety deposit?
Right, exactly.
Your security deposit?
Right.
I don't understand why it had to come down
there was
so
no,
quickly.
We've talked about it. Unlike the last time, which, I think a lot of us couldn't wait for it to come down the way the decision had broken down. Nothing like that here. Nothing like that here. And, they fast-tracked. We were watching it over here. They fast-tracked it, Jimmy, and they got it all done today. I don't really know what the hurry was, but it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in a rush right now, and I'm not at a good place where I want to say somebody deserves to go up there. He was in let's face it, he was in a very different atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay? He's a very different athlete. And I'm not saying that we don't have any athletes right now that deserve it, but some would say, why does it have to be an athlete?
Right.
I just don't think he was in that's something that we'll never forget.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should have been taken down that quickly.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I don't think the mood right now in the city demanded that it come down very quickly. And it seems as though a lot of people flocked over there and were a little bit sad that it was coming down as quickly as it is. But maybe it's a business side. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But it just was very strange. And it was funny. A couple people have noted here that I think Joy was the first to say it. It happened, the banner had to come down and everything on the same day that the city of Cleveland declared today Joe Thomas Day. And Joe had even tweeted out that he's had mixed emotions about everything with LeBron James, but people said, "Geez, just let Joe Thomas have his day." But it was it was nice that the city did that for Joe today.
It did, yeah. Joe is a great ambassador of the Cleveland Browns at a time when the Browns need an ambassador.
Yes,
they really do. And not a glamour position.
No,
an offensive lineman. But kind of fits the city's mood that, we're hardworking people. And Joe Thomas, though physically gifted and very, very smart about his position, went at it at a workman-like, blue-collar type of attitude and really personified what I think the Browns should have really kind of reached out for to get more of that kind of player.
He was like the model of the right kind of blue-collar Cleveland player that fans get behind. And I don't know why. And part, well, I do know why. I mean, you had 5 different regimes after the one that drafted Joe Thomas.
Well, you're always trying to, I'll use a baseball analogy here. I think the Browns are guilty of, and especially in the draft, and especially in the selection of Manziel, and maybe even Braylon Edwards and Kellen Winslow Jr. and things like that, trying to hit the 5-run homer.
Yeah.
You can't hit a 5-run homer.
Yes.
They were always trying to hit the 5-run homer, I thought, and failed at it. Brandon Whedon, 5-run homer.
That's
Trent Richardson, 5-run homer.
Yeah.
Now he weighs 500 pounds. So I really think that, that's, but Joe Thomas was, If you were able to, not Joe's such a special player that you're not going to get a guy like Joe Thomas, but you can get a guy like Joe Thomas that has that kind of mentality. Joel Bitonio is like Joe Thomas. I don't know if Joel Bitonio will be a Hall of Famer, but he played like Joe Thomas, and it played well when they played together.
Right mentality, right approach, the right attitude. And I mean, you can build on that. I mean, he's not going to be as talented as Joe Thomas, but if you have an offensive line with 5 Joel Bitonios, you're in pretty good shape, in terms of something that they're coachable, they're teachable, they've got the right attitude, and they like being here.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you can go a long way with that. To the person's question a few moments ago about Manny Machado. The other thing I wanted to bring up tonight is our last one of these of the week here for the holiday week. Opportunity knocks right now for the Cleveland Indians, and I kind of felt that watching last night's game, and everything that's going on right now with this sea change in Cleveland sports because LeBron James is gone, and now all of a sudden the Cleveland Cavaliers are, their stock is plummeting right now while they figure out what to do. The Cleveland Indians are in first place. They've struggled at times. They're still trying to get everybody healthy, including guys like Andrew Miller. And I mean, there's still a lot of silence, by the way, with Miller. I'm getting more concerned about that. But we're a month away from the trade deadline. A guy like Manny Machado's out there. Whether Andrew Miller's back or not, the bullpen certainly could use some live arms back there. We saw it 2 years ago, Jimmy. If you can get in the playoffs and get any kind of a momentum surge, this team can go a long way. This team can win a championship. You got to get there, and it looks like they will in a very weak division. But I mean, this is an opportunity for the Indians really to seize the initiative, because a storm coming from 76 Lou Groza Boulevard will be coming very quickly at the end of this month, and that's going to take a lot of our attention and a lot of the attention of Cleveland sports fans.
It is, and I think people are genuinely interested in what the Browns are doing. Some people are excited about what the Browns are doing. Some people are just saying, hey, listen, I want my football team back.
Yeah.
I want that tradition of Sundays back, and I think maybe I like what I'm seeing, but I haven't seen it on the field yet.
Right.
And totally understandable, and you're right about that. You got to see it on the field. To the Indians part of this is that I compare the Indians right now to where LeBron James is going to the LA Lakers. The Indians want to get to the World Series.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get to the World Series,
Yes.
because there are a lot of good teams
Yes.
in the American
Yes.
League. Red Sox, Yankees, Houston certainly.
Yeah. Seattle.
Seattle now,
Right.
okay? So there are good teams in the American League. It's just like LeBron James. There are great teams in the Western Conference
yeah.
with one unbelievable team in the Western Conference. And it's difficult. Now, what do the Indians have more than anybody else? They have starting pitching
Yes.
coming out of their ears.
Yes.
I mean, they really do. And that can get them there.
Right.
But, the Indians right now have got to sit and say, can we win the American League?
Yeah.
We know we can win the division.
Yeah.
And we're going to win the division.
We can get to the playoffs.
Yeah, we can get to the playoffs. Can we win against the Yankees, Red Sox, Astros? Let's just take those three.
Yeah.
Can they beat them in a series?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, are those three teams going to do something to help themselves come the trading deadline? I mean, the Yankees are a team that, if they want to do something, they have money and they still have prospects that they can do it. The Red Sox have money. I don't know about the Red Sox farm situation. Houston seems to have talent coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
They can do it too. And that's the other thing. So in a two-pronged attack, the Indians have to realize we have better starting pitching probably collectively than anybody. But we have this, I agree with you, this bullpen question mark, where at least right now they're using that interim period before the trading deadline to just try and find a bullpen.
Yeah.
And I think they've done a good job in trying to do that.
Yeah,
But
it's been better the last couple of weeks. I would
is
agree.
that bullpen going to be good in October? Is that going to get you there in October?
That's the thing. I mean, I think this bullpen is good enough to get you through. If you got to play a lot of American League Central games, it's good enough to get you through.
See, and that's the deceiving thing.
That's the problem.
Yeah, when you play 3 weeks in the Central Division, you get a false positive on how great you are.
Yes.
That's how bad the Central Division is now.
And that's why going out to Oakland, and I mean that was a
reality check.
That's a reality
Yeah.
check, and it's like you sit there and you go,
how good are we?
How really good?
And
And the fact that the Nationals already went out and got something to help their bullpen already, knowing that they're going to be in for a fight out on the National League East side in the National League. I just think, that's something the Indians really have to think about, because they've got the other thing, and that's this Lindor factor. When they trade for players and they add to payroll, it ultimately has an impact on when and how much they can throw an offer out at Francisco Lindor to keep him here when his arbitration runs out. And that's scary. I mean, that's everybody, because that was the first thing I think I typed last night on Twitter. I was like, well, ask Sherwin-Williams on the board, and somebody said, until Lindor gets traded, to the Yankees. And I understand why people say that. That's what happens to a lot of these superstars from the young Cleveland Indians. They develop, and then by the time they're ready for their first big contract, the Indians can't keep them. Whether it's Sabathia, I mean, I could go Tommy Ramirez, Sabathia, whoever else, and that's the reality. Victor Martinez.
Yeah. It's again, it's not a bad position to be in. You're going to win your division.
Yeah.
And that's a great position to be in. The other thing is you got to remember, not only are American League teams going to make moves, but National League teams are going to make moves too. Dodgers are probably going to have to make some moves. The Cubs may have to make some moves. The Brewers are in it. They may say, "Hey, listen, they're a fun team."
Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be there are going to be a lot more buyers, I think, than sellers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of teams are going to really think, thankfully in the American League Central, they need someone team that's out there buying, but there are going to be a lot of buyers out there, to your point. And, Jim Bowden, the former GM, and who works, I think, for Sirius XM and does some work for ESPN, he was saying there are 8 teams right now that have called the Baltimore Orioles about Manny Machado. And I know the Indians, on the surface you say, okay, Dino, why do you need another infielder? Well, he would be an upgrade. You could move him to third. You have Ramirez at second with Lindor at short, and all of a sudden, you've got a really powerful infield, offensively and defensively. Machado's a shortstop, but you're going to move him to third, and you've got something there. And if you are willing to pay the price, and maybe you have to, and one of the prices might be one of those young pitchers that we've seen, Bieber, Plutko, one of those guys. And I mean, that's going to be a lot to swallow. That's going to be a lot to swallow if you want a big-time player.
Yeah, well, if you're doing that, then you're saying, hey, listen, we don't know if we can swing the bat with the Yankees, that power.
Right.
Houston. Although, the Indians played, they split in that 4-game series here. And, you have to look at the Astros. They're very, very well put together, and now they are tested to the point where we know they can play and win on the biggest stage, which is the World Series. The Red Sox score a lot of runs. Yep. They score a lot of runs. And you would be saying, if you're going to go get a Machado, you're going to say, well, we're going to hit more.
Yeah.
We're going to have to score a lot of runs to beat the Yankees. The Yankees are,
Yeah.
We found
that out. We found that out last year. We found that last year.
Well, we found it out even earlier this year when they, went to Yankee Stadium and just bombed out that weekend, and were in position in each one of those games to win.
Yeah. Linda says, thank goodness Dan Gilbert isn't in charge of the Indians, or Francisco Lindor may be gone. I hear. You know what? Yeah. Dan deserves snark. Chris says.
Well, let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Building on that.
Yeah.
Here's an owner that has had a for the ages player.
Yes.
And he hasn't lost him once. He's lost him twice. That's unbelievable.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean, think about it, everybody. Yeah. He has he has an incredible player that he didn't get.
Right.
Okay, the Guns got him.
The Guns got
him when he came here, when they won the lottery. And he's lost them twice.
Yeah.
Okay, and is a part of why he's, let's face it, I mean, is a part of why he's left. That is a bad relationship.
Yep.
As I said to you, LeBron is going to love Jeannie Buss, and Jeannie Buss isn't going to have to do much.
No.
to have LeBron love her, because I think that's how bad this was here, and that did weigh in the decision. It wasn't as much Savannah, LeBron Jr., Bryce, and
his daughter.
Yeah,
I can't remember his daughter's name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. It wasn't that. It was really, I think this relationship, this toxic relationship that got more toxic but goes on, as it went along. But think about it, everybody. I mean, that's maybe a point that there's a think piece in there.
Yes.
He's lost him twice.
He's lost him twice. And, if the relationship had been better, maybe you're able to Zuri. That's it. You're able to talk. You're able to talk LeBron into staying. You don't have that kind of relationship where you can, where Dan can pick up the phone and call him. I'm sure they go. Everything went through Rich Paul. I mean it was a contributing factor, a big time.
Yeah, of course
big
it was.
Time.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah. See, and I thought it was going to get better when he came back and they kind of had that face-to-face, and when he decided to come back, but. Apparently it didn't.
When I saw
really
before the finals last year, when on Uninterrupted, LeBron and Draymond Green did the little barbershop chat, and LeBron talked about to Green that his family, especially his mother, really struggled with him coming back because of the things that Dan Gilbert had said in that letter. And I mean, LeBron even said it was hard to let it go. And the fact that 3 years later he was still talking about it and his family was still thinking about it, it never really. It was I always called it the uneasy alliance.
Yeah.
It was fine where you could sit and you could have a conversation, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that's a very good point.
That was really good.
That was a good point.
All right. We will be back with everybody on Monday. Jimmy, enjoy the rest of the holiday week.
I want to say, as I depart, I am going on holiday. I was totally captivated by the World Cup today.
Yeah. Okay. Please. Can you give me a
I have to tell you, I love the World Cup, and should we do more on the World Cup? Yeah, but the LeBron thing was really pressing. But it doesn't mean that at 10 in the morning and at 2 in the afternoon, I'm not watching because I am.
You are.
Okay?
And if you're not watching, he's listening in his car.
Absolutely, which is a disservice to listeners in the car. They need to have a radio broadcast of that. They're taking the television broadcast and just taking the commentary and putting that on the radio. And I mean, geez.
No.
Okay? So anyway, today was amazing.
Yeah.
Switzerland and Sweden in the first, in the round of 16 to get to the quarterfinals. 1-0. Sweden ends up winning on an own goal. Okay, the ball went off a Swiss defender and into the goal, and 1-0 the final.
That's a long off season to think about.
Sweden, yeah. Now remember, these guys have to go back to their countries.
Right, exactly.
So Sweden wins, and they move along, and they're a nice team. They really are. Yeah. And then England. Okay, England playing Colombia. England leads 1-0 in the stoppage time session where they added on time at the end of the 90 minutes. And they are maybe 30 seconds away from winning it, give up a corner kick, give up a goal.
Oh.
England, they go to overtime. They play the 2 overtime periods. They don't get a goal. It comes down to
PKs.
Penalty kicks. England is awful at penalty kicks. They just are, and it's become a mental thing for them. They're awful at it.
Yeah.
But they have dedicated themselves in the build-up and the walk-up to the World Cup to really try and find a strategy mentally and physically that works for them to finally get over this Mount Everest, climb to get past penalty kicks. And they go into the penalty kicks, and sure enough, they miss.
Oh!
But Colombia comes back, and they hit the post.
Nothing worse.
Okay, and then they tie it up again, and then the England goalkeeper makes a great save.
Yeah.
England scores. Eric Dyer, who I believe plays for Everton, and he scores, and England wins. It was a magnificent moment, or something like that. Yeah. And it was just great. I'm really happy for England, and they move on. Now they'll play Sweden coming up on Saturday.
Who are you pulling for?
England.
England? Okay. I mean, because that was the thing. Since the U.S. isn't there, I know the campaign was, root for your roots.
It's kind of a funny commercial where they come on, the girl comes on, the beautiful woman from Brazil, and goes, "I am sorry, United States, for not making the tournament. You should root for us."
Right.
And they'll have the guy from Germany come on.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cute. England. Yeah. I really am. I'd like to see them get back into the elite.
Yes.
It's a very young English team. England kind of went, there were kind of guys. I mean, there was David Beckham, and there were all these people, and there were, Wayne Rooney, But sometimes they stayed with those particular players a little bit too long.
Right.
And the last World Cup, the one in Brazil, I mean, England, bombed out.
Yeah.
So it was, they've really gone with young players. They have a young nucleus of players. And they just have, Harry Kane's the man. Captain Kane.
Yeah. Did you get to see the World Cup in '94 when it was in the States at all?
I broadcasted for
Did you?
ESPN.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
I was one of the broadcasters for ESPN.
You're nice.
Yeah.
For the World
World Cup. Yeah.
Now, where did you?
I was based in Palo Alto and the Rose Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So I did Brazil through all of their first round matches, and then they played the United States. I think it was almost on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
They almost played them. And the United States lost, tough game, and they lost. And then I moved to the Rose Bowl, and I was doing Uruguay, Argentina, Hungary, and Romania, teams like that. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's good. Now, would you also if you could be in England to watch, just watching the World Cup at a pub? Would that be something like that? That would be awesome to do.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. Yeah, it would really be amazing. I would love to do that. And because I can't do that because I'm here in the States right now, I would go to my good friend John Granzier's place, Marriott, over in Lakewood.
Yes.
Because that's a fun place to watch the World Cup. Bring a change of clothing. Yeah. Especially when England plays.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it's just. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it really is a great thing. It's a shame. It really is a shame. And there's something wrong with the United States Soccer Federation.
Yes.
There's a failing there. We should be in it. Okay. The excuse of saying for decades of saying, well, you know, the Americans, they haven't really grabbed onto it. Yes, they have.
Yeah, I was
yes,
say
they have.
those
days are over.
Those days are over.
You can't use that.
The MLS
you
is too
can't
big.
use the dog ate my homework anymore.
No, can't.
Right. I mean, we have a league.
Yeah, those days are over. Those days are over.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno says would love to get an MLS team here in Cleveland, and the England game replay right now on FS1 if you hadn't seen it.
Oh,
so
you should see it.
Go
really
watch
is.
it.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy,
is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Happy 4th to you. David Herbertson, happy 4th for you, my friend. And we'll see everybody back here next week on the Donovan Live postgame show. Ole, 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 here on WKYC's Facebook Live.